this game starts, try to establish an offensive rhythm through the run game to help him build his confidence and manage this moment, Chris. And in this scene, he likely may need it.
Here we go. Penn State won the toss, and on a show of confidence for the offense, well received. So Saquon Barkley back to receive the kickoff from James Bogue. And Saquon will let this be a touchback. So Saquon comes out. What a team player. He's humble despite all the accolades. Will have to find a way to help his offense if the Wolverines swarm him as a running back.
Yeah, we mentioned in the open that Don Brown will load the line of scrimmage. Their first priority every week, let alone when they're playing Saquon Barkley, is to crowd that line of scrimmage and take away the run. That's why he'll be just as effective in the pass game tonight.
Penn State's had a bye week to get ready for this. 2 weeks to get healthy and throw in a few wrinkles. Michigan coming off an overtime victory at Indiana. And it's Saquon Barkley in the slot to the left for this first play. And he'll motion back in. Wolverines show some pressure. McSorley complete across the middle. That's Jawan Johnson, who got the game winner in the final play at Iowa. He is emerging quickly.
Sure is. He has great size. They'll try to get their tempo going here and try to get Michigan as much as you can on their heels. Trace McSorley, second year as a starter, such great command of this offense of Joe Moorhead.
They got 6 on the first play. You really feel that first down throws key for both offenses tonight.
Oh, yeah. Just trying to have positive yards on 1st and 10.
Barkley off and running. Saquon Barkley. Say bye-bye. Touchdown, Penn State.
Singing.
On a wrinkle as Barkley took the direct snap and raced to the end zone. He does not lose foot races.
Not at all. And what an interesting wrinkle here by Joe Moorhead on the second play, the direct snap. And it gets Michigan out of a gap. And Barkley makes them pay for it.
Extra point by Tyler Davis. Penn State strikes 43 seconds in.
Because if you go back to this, you can see Barkley's lined up here. You're going to get the quarterback who's going to go to almost play the running back role, and watch the guard as he pulls. It's going to move the Michigan linebackers with Steven Gonzalez. See how 10 Bush moves with him? And there's the vision as a natural running back that Saquon Barkley brings to the table. Michigan had him walled off on the play side, cuts it back, and has the speed to take it to the house.
Joe Moorhead, a very creative play caller. We mentioned that Penn State had a bye week because it's important. They did a lot of self-scouting, Kirk, the first 6 weeks. They saw their tendencies. They knew they had to try to trick Michigan.
And it sure worked there early in this game. The last thing that Michigan needed to happen on the road in this environment.
Longest play they've allowed from scrimmage all season. And John O'Korn, the Pennsylvania native who struggled throwing the ball the last couple of games, will take the field down a touchdown. Embry Thomas, number 1, back deep to receive the kickoff from Davis. This is kicked short. Hawkins, a short return, stopped from the 25-yard line. So O'Korn benefited from a strong running game a week ago, Kirk, with this veteran, this former Houston quarterback, searching for answers, as is the Michigan offense with the passing game.
Yeah, the last couple weeks have not been kind to this passing game, and John O'Korn, I think, still is a confident quarterback. I'm going to be very interested to see how the Michigan brass decides to attack tonight against one of the top defenses in the country on the road in this environment. I think they have a better chance of being aggressive early down play action than just being conservative and running the football.
It's Karan Higdon out of the I formation. The middle is clogged. Fights to get back to the line of scrimmage as Ryan Buchholz, the end, made the tackle.
Boy, Buchholz is moving around. And again, this Penn State defense they were already fired up. Now all of a sudden Saquon Barkley takes one to the house to give him a 7-0 lead. And now with this atmosphere, they're really coming after that offensive line and John O'Korn.
Middle run, and those second down plays become so crucial because 3rd and long is something that this Michigan offense does not want. Tonight's full of impact players.
Yeah, Cron Higdon had the big game last week against Indiana. He gets the early look. They have 3 running backs. They'll rotate in. He's got to play well. McCune, who's a tight end, they'll try to get their tight ends involved. Jason Kabinda and Marcus Allen both involved in that last tackle because of the physicality and knowledge of the scheme.
It's been a mighty struggle. Michigan 116th in 3rd down conversions. O'Korn pressured, sacked. Curtis Cothran plowed through the middle. It's a 3-and-out.
How about Curtis Cothran, a defensive end who has moved over to defensive tackle. Just a great quick move to the inside, one-on-one right in the middle with Kugler. Just kind of a swim technique, gets around him with quickness. In a one-on-one blocking situation, John O'Korn didn't have a chance there on that 3rd down.
Freshman Brad Robbins back to punt to the dangerous DeAndre Tompkins. Tompkins comes up, and it's too short to field on the fly. On the bounce from the 30, 2 flags fly in as he's tackled right there. Penn State will be backed up. So the electric touchdown run on the wrinkle from Barkley, the 3-and-out, and what was already frenzied is now going to get even more boisterous.
During the return, legal block in the back. Return team, number 4, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
Less than 3 minutes in, a dream start for Penn State. The Barkley touchdown run, a 3-and-out, and now the Lions' second possession from the 22 after the penalty on the punt return. They feed Barkley. Not supposed to gain yards between the tackles. They had given up 58 yards all year, Michigan. Barkley went 69 in that one play.
Well, they followed it up. A really good play right here. Just a kind of an old-fashioned play up the middle. Just a zone read play up the middle. How about the blocking up front right now by Mann, the right guard. Tight end Gesicki picks up a nice block. Looking at 2nd and 5.
Barkley in the slot now to the right.
Doing a lot of dummy calls, just trying to make sure, based on what the coaches are seeing upstairs, to get in the right call.
McSorley keeps it and darts for a 1st down and more. Slides down in Michigan territory. McSorley as a runner, Kirk, you said that would be huge tonight.
Yeah, I think his legs will be more involved, and a lot of this has to do with, watch Mike McCray. As soon as he sees Barkley move back, watch what happens with the action of Barkley. I want you to watch in the back right here. Watch how McCray and the other linebackers are taking away number 26. And because of that, look at that cutback lane for Trace McSorley. He is a threat with his feet. He can throw the ball, but he also is a great compliment to Saquon Barkley run the football.
Wolverines defense allowing 86 per game on the ground, being gashed here. Penn State already exceeding that total as McSorley scrambles. Downfield shot, jump ball. Gesicki, the tight end, has it at the 16. Just lofted into the air, and the big 6'6" guy goes up and beats 2 Michigan defenders.
Joe Moorhead told us yesterday, we got to hit explosives. Look how high he goes up. Former volleyball player, former hoops player. That is timing. That's just not a 36, 38-inch vertical at 6'6". That's perfect timing to go up, high point the ball, and take it away from Brandon Watson.
Yeah, 6'6" versus 5'11", and he has, as you said, he's got all-world hops, Gesicki. Finally, he's healthy after the bye week, and it makes a huge difference to this offense. They got 35 more on that play. Barkley again motioning back in. It's an option look. They pitch it to him. Block on the edge. Saquon Barkley turns the corner and scores again. Guys in blue and white, remember the mauling at Michigan a year ago. And they have come out on fire.
about the blocks downfield by those wide receivers from Penn State? DeAndre Tompkins and Deshaun Hamilton led Barkley into that end zone.
Saquon Barkley having a night, and we're only dedicated a couple of years ago, and they are cranked up as Penn State has exploded in offense, gotten a 3-and-out first time on defense, and lead 14-0. Wolverines shell-shocked at the moment. Thomas 1 yard deep. Tries to bounce it, has some room. Ambry Thomas, a good return. So running out across the 40. So Old Court would at least have good field position.
First couple drives that Penn State's had the ball, I've been surprised by the linebacker play. Both of them out of position here. They pitch it off of Maurice Hurst. And there's the great blocks downfield I mentioned by Tompkins and also by Hamilton that eventually gets Saquon Barkley into the end zone, and a reaction from his coach that you love to see if you're a Penn State fan. Could not have started any better for James Franklin and the Nittany Lions than being up 14-0. How does Michigan answer? Great kickoff return. They've got to try to throw on early downs. You can't wait till third down and be ultra conservative. They got to throw the football early.
Yeah, they lost 2 yards in their first series. Higdon again the bat. First down carry, met nothing. Met right at the line by Manny Bowen and Jason Kabinda, the 2 linebackers. Kabinda, the leading tackler on this defense.
Yeah, and Penn State is looking at this Michigan offense. Keep in mind, they're limping in with their passing game based on the Michigan State and the Indiana game, and they are basically looking at Michigan and saying, until you throw the football, our linebackers and our safeties are coming downhill to take away that running game.
11th in the Big Ten in pass offense, 94th in the country. Hand it off to Higdon again, so very stubborn with the running game, and it'll set up another 3rd and long. Cassidy Hubbard, and a loss. Invading the backfield was Troy Apke, the safety. Another negative series, another 3-and-out.
You know, O'Korn gives a little bit of a look to his left, but Apke just reads this. He just didn't draw the defense into him. He got a little bit impatient, and he tipped his hand. See 28, he's reading it the entire way. The eyes, the body language of the quarterback led him out there, and he makes a nice play for the Lions on 3rd down.
Robbins on again. This is a Penn State defense that's had 26 guys get in there for a tackle for loss. That's an extraordinary number. Tompkins makes a fair catch at the 22. What's next for Saquon Barkley? 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. Lions. Southern California. Penn State 2 for 2 in touchdowns. 2 Barkley touchdown runs of 69 and 15. So he has now tied Lydell Mitchell's Penn State record for most total touchdowns with 41 in his career. Empty backfield. McSorley flips it incomplete. Tried to get it to Barkley on a crossing route, but he was pressured.
You might be at home wondering, Michigan ultra conservative offensively, down by a couple of scores. Why aren't they trying to be a little bit more aggressive and attack? In my opinion, Jim Harbaugh has unquestionable, undeniable confidence in his defense, and I think he's calling this game hoping that Don Brown and this Michigan defense will settle in and start to get some stops.
Brown, defensive coordinator at Maryland, when James Franklin called the offensive plays. He and Joe Moorhead, Penn State's play caller, also staff mates at UConn under Paul Pasqualoni. So lots of familiarity for this chess match. A 2nd down, deep shot, looped over the head of Deshaun Hamilton.
They got interference on Kennel there. Chris just grabbed the jersey.
And he was beaten.
Yeah, he was. Deshaun Hamilton was getting ready to go by him. Little out and up move, and it's a matchup that Penn State is trying to find. A receiver against a safety.
Defense, number 23, 10-yard penalty, automatic,
They have tremendous trust in their DBs who are well schooled, but they're also very aggressive.
Yeah, they are. And this is part of this defense. You leave guys on islands, and again, that is a safety against Michigan or Penn State's most talented wide receiver. That's tough to ask safeties to try to hold up on an island. They typically rely on their pressure getting to the quarterback before you can exploit coverage in the back end.
Bentley moves the ball to the 33. Barkley that time runs into a clogged middle and picks up just 2. And Saquon, after a couple of quiet games when teams were determined to take away the run, so impressive a guy. That doesn't bother him. No sign of frustration, no pouting. He said he might have done that as a younger player, but not as a junior.
No, I think the maturity that he's been able to exploit this year has been pretty obvious. He's having a better year this year, even though they haven't had the explosives the way they did last year, their back half of the season.
It's David Long, the corner who was singled up on Barkley. Now he motions in with 3 wide receivers to the right side. McSorley backwards pass to Barkley. He's got to field that. That was a lateral, so it goes out of bounds back at the 21. A flag is down in the offensive line pit area. You wondered if they were going to set up a pass there. Saquon can throw the ball.
It's a lateral, but it's also looked like maybe a late hit on the quarterback. Looked like Chase Winovich.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense. Number 15. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Winovich with the long blonde hair. He's from Pennsylvania, one of 4 guys from this state. He's keyed up today, maybe 2 keyed up.
Yeah, he's just trying to make a play. He's frustrated. Ball is thrown. I mean, it's late. You just cannot do that. It's a mental error in a game where you're trying to get the football back to your own offense. That was a lateral. Think about where Penn State's offense would be right now, and instead it's automatic first down. Now they're at midfield.
The 29-yard difference, Kurt, from the 21 to the 50. Winovich called this a pivotal game in his career and a pivotal game in the history of Michigan football. That was Chase's assessment of this game coming in. Confusion on the defense as Penn State looks for Gesicki over the middle, and McSorley overshot his tall tight end who was open. On the right side for a nice game. Lavert Hill drove him out.
Yeah, that time you saw the Michigan linebackers in better position. It's one thing to be in position. It's another thing to try to bring him down. Devin Bush is there, right there, but there's the cut. And he's not giving up on a play. And instead of being tackled there, those are the yards that you really appreciate. He had 7 or 8 more yards from where it looked like he might be tackled near the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd and 4. Barkley, who's already got 97 yards on the ground, replaced by Andre Robinson. McSorley rolls, flips it in the flat to Robinson, who's got space and got a first down shoved out inside the 40 by Mike McCray.
Now you bring pressure, you can ask your linebackers to play man-to-man. This time the pressure is coming from here, so McCray has got to try to get over there and match up with Robinson. There's the blitz. And Penn State knows when the blitz comes there, that's a long way for Mike McCray to get out in man-to-man coverage. Penn State, to their credit, taking advantage, finding matchups to exploit the man-to-man coverage of the Wolverines.
Now the 3rd back, the speedy Miles Sanders, number 24, comes in the game. They've got back in the slot to the right on 2nd and 1. Do they take a downfield shot here?
I think right now what they're doing is working. They're keeping Michigan off balance.
This is working. Barkley running off tackle for a first down to the 25. What isn't working?
Well, I don't think you have to necessarily take big shots, even though it's second short. I think that right now it's very bizarre to see Michigan's defense confused and at times out of position. Hands on their hips. It's a defense that usually sets the tone. They're the ones that usually assert themselves on the offense that they're facing.
Wolverines simply don't allow 100-yard rushes very often. Barkley is over 100 in the first quarter on 6 carries.
It's a statement.
First down throw. Barkley's got it. Makes a man miss. He'll be tackled from behind after a short gain by Noah Forbush, the linebacker.
Michigan right now, you think about the way their offense is executed, not only tonight, but the last couple of weeks with O'Korn there. The last thing you can afford here, if you're Don Brown, is to give up a touchdown. They've got to squeeze Penn State down in this once they get inside the red zone and force a field goal attempt. You get out 21-0 with the way your offense has played here in the last couple games.
Agreed. They are very much on the ropes late first quarter. McSorley from the pocket, intercepted. A miscommunication, and David Long grabs it and returns it out across the 40. McSorley had to make the tackle to save a pick six. The tight end wasn't looking at all.
Well, give Don Brown credit. We keep talking about man-to-man and how much man-to-man Michigan plays. A curveball by Don Brown. You see him matched up right out here. He looks like he's in man-to-man coverage. Watch how David Long comes off of Johnson. He releases him, and now he's in position right there to be able to sit in zone. Surprise Gesicki, who was anticipating man-to-man. Long sitting there in zone. The ball hits him right in the chest. Great call there by Don Brown as a changeup.
So the takeaway sets the Wolverines up at the 40, and here is a first down throw to let Hill, the fullback, a physical play out near midfield. So they finally let O'Korn throw it on first down.
There it is. That's what's going to help not only have some success and some positive yards, then you can get back to running the football. You get a gain of 6, a gain of 8 off of play action. You dump it to a tight end. You dump it to a fullback. It doesn't have to necessarily be big shots downfield. That makes Jason Kabinda, Manny Bowen, and Cole Farmer, those linebackers, a little hesitant. And that opens up a little bit more running room.
Michigan finally in the positive total yards column. Korn looking to throw on second and short. Escapes. He's a good runner. He gets a block, and he slides down at the Penn State 39 with a first down.
That's a great job by John O'Korn. And that's something that he brings to the table, is the ability to improvise. He's not afraid. A lot of times he'll go outside. What I love here is he climbs into the pocket. He goes forward, and once he does that, then his maneuverability and athletic ability, he can make somebody miss and pick up positive yards just like that. Picks up a first down.
Will help settle the quarterback down, who again is playing this game 33 miles from where he grew up in Huntington, PA. It's Evans, and Chris Evans around the corner. This is the kind of running game you expect Michigan to employ.
Patrick Kugler, the center, watching film all week on him and this offensive line. They pull him a lot, and they have perimeter running game. And when they get to the outside, they outflank you with not only 2 or 3 tight ends, but they've got that center with enough athletic ability to get around. And he is a handful when they pull him around to the outside. Keep an eye on 57.
Another one of those Pennsylvanians who's extra inspired tonight. Evans got 9, so again, second and short. This is the comfort zone for any offense. But Evans has to battle hard to move the 6 again to the 26.
I tell you, when they run between the tackles, it is old school Big Ten football. I mean, you got offensive linemen and defensive linemen colliding. You got Jason Kabinda, a physical inside linebacker coming downhill trying to hit a back, and you got a great effort by Chris Evans, giving you everything that he has there to pick up 3 yards and a first down.
Approaching the final minute of this first quarter. Michigan trying to stop the bleeding and cut into this lead, heading into the loudest part of the stadium. There's another first down throw, and it's incomplete. Tried to flip it off short to Higdon. O'Korn's parents, Paula and Gary, are there. Paula actually works at a restaurant right here in State College called the Naked Egg. They grew up around here, then they moved their son for football purposes to Fort Lauderdale to play at St. Thomas Aquinas, the powerhouse down there.
Think about how crazy those circumstances are.
Interesting week for her. Then breaks tackles, slams down inside the 20. Another first down. And a good block by the Wolverines as Troy Apke, the safety, just got run over.
Imagine she works here in State College, and they grew up big Penn State supporters and fans and have been to this stadium wearing the blue and the white all the time, and now here they are in the maze of the blue, and boy, look at Mom's face. I think that sums it up.
They are way up high. The blimp is closer to them than they are to the field.
But they got to be happy with John O'Korn in this offense right now, moving the football.
Seventh play of this drive after the interception, and they flip it in the flat to Eddie McDougal, who breaks the tackle and scoots down inside the 5. And Michigan suddenly aggressive and productive.
Yeah, and I think, again, you've got to give Jim Harbaugh and his offensive staff credit for the first couple drives, kind of settling in. Like I said, confidence that they have in the defense. The whole stadium's coming down on top of them. They get a turnover, and all of a sudden, they're deep in Penn State territory.
Barkley throwing haymakers, but Michigan threatening at the end of the first quarter. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. Michigan threatening now at the Penn State 3 as begin quarter number 2. 7-play, 56-yard drive following David Long's first career interception.
You know I'm a big uniform guy.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of the maize pants tonight. I know that they're probably going to go back to the all-whites. And for tonight with the whiteout, they decided to bring out the maize pants. I like that. I like that look.
I'm happy that you approve of both sides
old
fashion.
school, you know?
Yeah. Michigan trying for an old school power run touchdown here. Higdon fights to the 1. Amazing how that takeaway by the defense, which had been reeling, has ignited the offense now.
Yeah, remember, red zone has been a trouble spot for this offense throughout the year. They did well against Purdue with John O'Korn, but the issues again against Michigan State and Indiana, collectively 2 of 5 with touchdowns. See if they can punch it in here.
Hill, the touchdown maker from a year ago. That big 265-pound fullback is stopped a half-yard short. Third down coming up.
And Penn State's defensive line, a lot of credit. Look at him fighting. He's still trying to move that football as close as he can.
The sky cam view of that.
That's a great look.
Humanity, isn't it?
It's a scrum.
Harbaugh with that play chart.
They're going to go with that same look. Give it to the big fella, 265 pounds. Like you said, last year, so much success with that play.
Yeah, just has 1 rushing touchdown so far this season. They feed Hill again. Still fighting. Close, but not in. It's 4th down.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they take a peek at this one, because where he landed, he was out of the end zone, but I thought his body might have, depending on where the football is, he might have gotten to the goal line right there, and then he gets pushed back.
Here's our progressive pylon cam here. Hard to see the football. And the ball not across at that point. They'd have to see something clear to overturn the call. Meanwhile, Michigan facing a 4th down if the call stands. They are 5 for 5 this year on 4th down, and Harbaugh thinking touchdown all the way here.
Yeah, the progressive pylon cam was obviously the angle that you want, but it's trying to see if that football got just to the goal line. There he is fighting. You can't really see the football yet. Still can't really. And then he gets pushed back there. I don't know if there's any
front of that white stripe. Of course.
I don't know if there's anything, Dave Kataya, who helps us up there. Dave, I don't know if there's anything that up to this point that could help you say that he got into the end zone.
Based on what I see, even with the progressive pylon cam, there's nothing that can change the call on the field. Remember, the call on the field is right unless there's 100% reason to change it.
That's like a rugby scrum. You got Michigan guys just grabbing on Penn State defenders.
Oh.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The runner is short. Fourth down.
Jeremy again says it's confirmed. So you've tried Hill twice with no success in the middle. What is Harbaugh and Tim Drebno cooking up on fourth down here?
You know, because it's no longer illegal. The quarterback sneak and then the backs coming in and pushing the quarterback in is been very effective in situations like this in college football throughout the country. Quarterback sneak and then the backs come in behind and help give him that push to get him across.
Higdon behind Hill. Higdon tries for the edge and does score. Michigan, a fourth down touchdown to cut the lead in half.
Gutsy call here by Jim Harbaugh and Tim Drebno. And this time they use Khalid Hill as a blocker. Watch 80 get Farmer right there, chops him down. And there's the speed of Higdon to get there right before Manny Bowen can push him out of bounds. Progressive pylon cam, you see the ball just breaks the plan there for the
Penn State fans would say that's karma, because this guy was the top-rated kicker in his recruiting class, committed to Penn State, then decommitted, signed with Michigan after Jim Harbaugh had slept over at his house. He's a guy that's an interesting personality. You see he's got that zigzag cut in his hair, like the Wild Thing, Charlie Sheen's character from Major League.
Rick Vaughn.
Yeah. He's a dude that is a future NFL kicker, tremendous talent, but it's interesting in the pregame warm-up, he's down there, he goes to Penn State's end of the field in warm-up to practice his field goals. That's not something normally done once Penn State's players are out there and starts making field goals right into the student section. So something to keep an eye on. We thought kickers might play a part in the fourth quarter of this game. The missed PAT keeps the lead at 8. Let's go down to the sidelines on the Michigan side to Tom Rinaldi.
Chris, a delay right now in what's happening on the field because of what happened during that last touchdown. A member of still photographer over here was hurt badly as the play pushed toward the sideline. She's now being strapped onto a board and will ultimately be carted off. She has not let go of her camera, but obviously we know it can be a dangerous place here on the sideline. The action happens so fast. This photographer did not have an opportunity to get out of the way, and as a result, she's being tended to by medical personnel, as you can see right now. That's why players have yet to take the field. She's about to be put on the gurney, and she'll be taken out of the stadium. Obviously, our thoughts are with her right now.
Tom, thank you. The sideline's very crowded here, and of course, photographers looking through the lens have the shot in mind, sometimes more than their own safety. As they attend to her, we'll take a timeout.
Look, there's no law that says your truck can only haul gravel. Introducing the new 2018 Ford F-150 with best-in-class towing, best-in-class payload, and best-in-class torque. The F-150 lineup has the capability to get big things to big places big time. So bring out your ATVs, your campers, your Palominos. Hey, you're not always working, but your truck is. This is the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, pal. It is the bar.
It's been 60 years since I came up here to watch football. I've seen a hurricane that rocks and a tide that rolls. I've seen hustle, perseverance, and heart. I've seen a bowl of cotton that's anything but soft. Some call it hard work, determination, or grit. I call it blimp-worthy.
It would be great if human beings were great at being human. And if all of mankind were made up of kind women and kind men. It would be spectacular if the golden rule was golden to every man. And the good things that we ever did was everything that we can. Treating others like we'd like to be treated has always been our guiding principle.
Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Walmart, is brought to you by Pacific Life. Experience the power of Pacific. And Ford, going further so you can.
Those are the first couple meetings. That 94 game, I was there in the big house, early game day site. Johnny Carter off the team, guest picker on game day. Kyle Brady, who got a touchdown. He was the honorary captain here for the Lions tonight.
Great image there. Remember Bobby Ingram late in that game. Caught the game-winning touchdown.
So Barkley back to receive Fogue's kickoff. Lions lead sitting at 8. And Saquon from 2 yards deep. Michigan is the best team in the country in kickoff coverage, and he stopped short of the 15. This week's Nissan Heisman Watch, Heismanology poll, and Barkley the clear front runner, and he said this is a big opportunity this week. Next week, of course, at Penn State. Mayfield in a victory with K-State today.
Yeah, and he keeps himself in it, keeps Oklahoma where they need to be.
And Bryce Love
just quietly leading the nation in rushing, having a huge year for Stanford. And Baker Mayfield ended up throwing for 2 and running for 2. 410 yards today. Pretty good day.
Yes. Barkley again over 100 yards rushing in the first quarter. Caught 1 pass for 3 yards.
Remember, Trace McSorley threw the interception last time Penn State had the football.
Quick conversation. He's improved his ability to read and recognize defenses, but Moorhead went to work with him after that pick. And Sorley swarmed and sacked back at the 10 by Maurice Hurst Jr. Let's check back in with Maria.
Well, Chris, after Trace McSorley threw that interception, he spent some time with Mike Gesicki. There was a miscommunication error there, and on the sideline, coach is almost reminding the offense, hey, we've gashed Michigan up and down this field, and they're not going to change. So this series, do a lot more of the same that we saw in the first quarter.
A change up, Maria. We've seen Michigan playing more zone, which is very different. They're changing up the looks in the secondary.
Barkley, immediate penetration. That's Khalid Hudson, one of those Pennsylvanians, and Rashawn Gary, and they swarm him for a loss.
Yeah, this is the kind of defense that you usually expect to see. He sneaks here and comes. Gary ends up coming around. This is the Michigan defense that is swarming. They keep you bottled up no matter how talented you are, and they get to you before you can really start to establish yourself on a play.
2 plays, lose 9 yards, third and very long. Empty backfield. Intercepted, almost picked off. Dropped as Hudson had it in his hands for a pick 6. Wow.
Michigan anticipating. Penn State backed up deep in their own territory. They feel the screen is coming. How about this? Goes up, times it perfectly. Hudson just had the big play against Barkley. This time blitzing. Goes up, and only thing he didn't do is just hold on to the football. You imagine that play.
You'll never have a better chance to pick six in the end zone there. So now a punt, and Donovan Peoples-Jones, the very speedy true freshman returner, is back. Blake Gillikin. It's a good boot away. And Peoples-Jones driven back inside his 40 and spun out of bounds immediately right there. Kickoff here, Week 7 in the NFL. The Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning on ESPN. This week on Monday Night Football, Washington takes on the first place Eagles, also available in Spanish on ESPN2.
Great job by the Michigan kickoff coverage unit. Saquon Barkley only got to the 15-yard line. Penn State was backed up. And then they had the positive play as far as the Michigan defense is concerned, getting after Barkley, and then they almost come up with a pick. And the field has flipped a little bit in favor of Michigan.
Yeah, but they netted 58. 56-yard punt, -2 return. There was good coverage there by Charles, and now O'Korn takes off for a short 3-yard gain on first down.
Yeah, Michigan, their last drive when they scored a touchdown, We keep talking about early down play action. 11 plays, 3 first down passes, and they start this drive off with another pass.
They didn't knock down 3 yards short of a first down. It'll be third. Place has changed, hasn't it? Sure. All of a sudden, the frenzy that followed Penn State's 2 touchdowns a lot quieter now. Michigan has got their teeth in this.
Interception completely changed the feel, and then Michigan capitalizing on that to get a touchdown.
Wolverines 0 for 3, but the previous third downs have all been long. They did fail in that third down on the goal line, but scored on the next play. Timeout. Lions lead at 14-6.
Accident I got in with the pole and I had to make a claim and all that.
Is that whole thing still dragging out?
No, I took some pics with the app and filed a claim. But you know how they send you money to cover repairs and...
It took forever to pay you, right?
No, I got paid right away. But at the very end of it all, my agent wouldn't even call you back, right? No, she called to see if I was happy. But if I wasn't happy with my claim experience, for any reason, they'd give me my money back. No questions asked. Can you believe that?
No.
The claim satisfaction guarantee, only from Allstate. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Humans have no mercy. I fight only to protect my family. Apes, together, strong.
Okay, so let's stop. Don't mess it up.
For those who know what they're really building, always unstoppable.
The amazing new iPhone 8 is at AT&T, and we know you'll love it.
Because we know you want more.
More great camera features and more power.
And more than just unlimited data, we give you unlimited plans with HBO included for life.
Because you deserve more entertainment. And more spokespeople.
Talking like this, saying the word more.
AT&T.
It's time for more. Am I too close? I feel like I'm too close.
Get the iPhone 8, and with all AT&T Unlimited plans, get HBO for life, only from AT&T.
Huh. Can't find my debit card. Oh, no. Oh, it's fine. Yeah, totally, it's fine. But, like, is it fine, though? Because I would maybe be worried. Really, really, really worried. Do you want me to go back and look for it? I will. I mean, a lot of bad things can happen. You need to call the bank. I don't know how else to tell you. You need to shut that card.
It's off.
What?
I can turn it on and off in my Wells Fargo app.
I feel better already.
Good.
Sunday, everyone's excited for a new Shark Tank, ABC Sunday.
Don't quit your day job. 14-6 Penn State, our Dr. Pepper Championship Drive game of the week. Big fan of the student section here, Kirk. The Taco Bell, proud partner of the football playoff. The Taco Bell student section.
These guys.
This is as good as it gets, the student section.
I don't know if there's another student section that enjoys coming to the games and supporting their team as much as this group.
Especially on a whiteout night. Third down. They need 3. O'Corn harassed. Flips it short of the first down. Chris Evans, the running back, caught it in traffic. It's 4th and 1.
Again, O'Corn doing a better job this week stepping up in the pocket. But because he was late getting the ball checked down to Chris Evans, just did not give the play much of a chance.
Evans, Oruwariye made a nice stop.
Exactly. He was covered very tightly there. Michigan's going to have great field position to start a drive, and they go 3 and out.
Failing again on third down. So Robbins. DeAndre Tompkins standing at his 15. It's a high boot and a fair catch signal, but then he lets it bounce out of bounds. So Penn State be pinned back to their 13.
Yeah, last time they were down inside, deep inside their own territory, Michigan really got after them. Nice job with a twist, a little different look up front. Now you get you to second down and long. This is when they're going to get aggressive at the second level with the linebackers and safeties, and almost a huge play right there by Hudson, almost coming up with a pick six. You got Penn State backed up again.
You run all those analytics, all the stats that Don Brown is a believer in, and McSorley does not have a very good quarterback rating when he's under heavy pressure. Not many do, but he definitely struggles in that department. And Wolverines almost creating a second takeaway. Sideline chess game as Moorhead gets a look at Don Brown's defense. Play clock at 5. They fake it to Barkley, pitch it across the middle, and the catch is made by Jawan Johnson, who's got a first down across the 25. Josh Matella stopped him.
And this is a run-pass option where he's feeling the secondary. Watch the quarterback's eyes. Watch where he's looking. He's looking into the defensive secondary. If they crowd the line in Barkley, he throws the ball. Good read there by McSorley.
Second catch tonight for the sophomore Johnson. McSorley 5 of 9. Here they go. They shift. Direct snap to Barkley, who fakes it to the quarterback and fights for a short gain. So we've seen that wrinkle 3 times. The first was an electric touchdown as Saquon trying to get free of the traffic there, pile on the ground.
The adjustment from Don Brown. Forget about everything. Keep your eye on 26. If he hands it off tonight, to 9, congratulations. Let 9 run with the ball. We are zeroing in on Saquon Barkley. When they get into that formation, take Barkley out of the game.
It took him out a year ago in Ann Arbor, but a very different start to this one. Empty backfield. And pressure again off the edge from Hudson, who knocks McSorley down.
I think the Michigan sideline wondering, did the ball get beyond the line of scrimmage? I didn't see a receiver in the area. Was he outside the tackle box, and did the ball get across the line of scrimmage?
He clearly just meant to throw it away. There is no flag on the field.
The ball's got to get past the 26, right at the black line. Does the ball get beyond that?
No.
Short.
So 3rd down and 8. The no call. See if the Wolverines bring more pressure. They're showing blitz. Now they rush 4. And McSorley to Hamilton. Makes the catch. Leaps up and over Kittle. And the Nittany Lions in Michigan territory.
Surprised here that Kittle, who they have confidence in, they're going to leave him alone in man-to-man. How about the throw, by the way, by Trent McSorley? Just drops it right over the shoulder of his top target, Deshaun Hamilton. Pretty decent coverage, but a great throw, and Hamilton will make big plays for you when you leave him isolated one-on-one with a safety, obviously.
He's a clutch 3rd down target. You spotted that's a mismatch against Kittle that the Lions have continued to exploit here. 27 yards on that 3rd and 8. Got to hurry. Snap it at 2. Keeper. And McSorley dives forward for about 4. The difference between converting that 3rd and 8, keeping the ball, trying to reclaim some momentum, enormous.
Well, that pass there on 3rd down gives you better field position, obviously keeps the drive alive. And Michigan's defense gaining some confidence until that big 3rd down conversion.
No motion. Barkley back into the backfield now. McSorley fakes it short, now does pump it, and Hamilton has space. Stutter step, takes a shot, but moves the sticks to the 36. Bush and Hudson made him pay for it, but it's a first down.
Yeah, I mean, he wanted to go downfield. He tried to get the Michigan defense to bite on that initial pump fake out to Hamilton. They didn't. They went downfield, and it's kind of just a check down there to Hamilton. And the secondary was 12, 15 yards away from Hamilton when he caught the ball. Pretty easy read there for Tracy McSorley.
Don Brown told us he thought Deshaun Hamilton was the key to Penn State's offense. The key was to stop him. They haven't so far. Direct snap to Barkley again. Fakes it to McSorley. And Michigan ready for the wrinkle this time. Picks up just 2.
Eventually, he's going to put the ball into the belly there of Trace McSorley and give McSorley a chance to run. But again, if you're Michigan's defense after the big run from that same look earlier in the game from Barkley, you just have to take him away on those kind of plays.
He's also thrown a touchdown pass this year, Barkley has, to Deshaun Hamilton. Rushing, receiving, kickoff, return, and he's thrown a touchdown pass in half a season. 2nd and 8. McSorley. Wheel route. Barkley dropped it. Oh, my goodness. Had the ball in his hands at the 15.
I mean, Penn State is finding the matchups. Shocked that Barkley drops this. You get him matched up against Mike McCray one-on-one, and all he did, he's Superman. But even Superman takes his eyes off the ball to look at the... See that? See his eyes just at the last second before he caught the ball. He's looking at the Michigan defender who's right there coming in, Tyree Kennel, about to hit him.
So remember that play. Instead of first down near the 10-yard line, again, it's 3rd and 8. Now here's Miles Sanders with a direct snap, hands it off to McSorley, and that wrinkle does not fool Michigan. McCray shoving the quarterback out for no gain, and it's 4th down.
Pretty remarkable to think that Mike McCray is the only returning starter on this defense. They lost 10 starters off this defense. Mike McCray, a guy who is just a bell cow, great leader for this team.
Penn State's offense on the field. It's very much fringe field goal range for Tyler Davis, who is struggling in that department. So they're going to go on 4th and 7.
Also pooch kick this.
Barkley not in the game. It's Sanders. Wolverine showing pressure. McSorley for Hamilton downfield. Another jump ball. This one's broken up. Penn State fans want a flag on Lavert Hill. There isn't one.
There's the adjustment by Don Brown. They said, okay, enough of this where they're going to try to get us in the slot. Now look at the slot. Now look who's covering him. Now they've got Lavert Hill in there, who's their best cover man, and that's a matchup that Don Brown will take and roll the dice with. He feels good. See how Lavert Hill finds the ball, goes up, knocks it away. Big difference between Lavert Hill and Tyree Kennel.
Jersey, too. And welcome back. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Maria Taylor, and Tom Rinaldi on a whiteout night in Happy Valley. Michigan taking over after the 4th down stop. And the drop by Barkley earlier in the series. And by 8. It's Higdon running right. It's a cut. Gets just a yard as you bring in Chris Felica, the Bear, for our Affleck trivia question tonight. Go ahead, Chris.
What's up, guys? I want to know tonight situation. The last time a top 5 Penn State team beat a ranked opponent at home.
Well, I know this is the first ranked versus ranked game here since 2011. There haven't been very many to a top 5 Penn State team. Maybe 94.
I'm going to say 94 Ohio State would be my guess.
O'Korn pressured, escapes, has space, has a first down, and a lot more out near midfield.
We've talked so much about Michigan blitzing. Penn State now also going to try to bring some pressure. Good job by the offensive line, doing just enough to allow O'Korn to step up. And look at the defense. Most of it in man coverage with their back turned to O'Korn, and he's got enough speed to make him pay.
And now some tempo. And O'Korn looking to throw downfield on first down. Complete. Donovan Peoples-Jones makes the catch inside the 35.
So you throw on 1st and 10, you're throwing on your terms. Great call by Jim Harbaugh and Pep Hamilton to get the quarterback in rhythm. You're not dealing with that 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6 kind of pressure. Much easier up front with the offensive line and protection. And a great throw by O'Korn, hitting number 9 there, Peoples-Jones, right in the chest.
Chunks of yardage now. The 18-yard pass following the 14-yard scramble. Ty Isaac out of the I formation, and that Michigan offensive line starting to fire off the ball well now.
Keep going back to when you mix in just enough of those play action looks, it helps those kind of run plays. Those Penn State safeties and linebackers have got to respect that, and just a slight hesitation by a linebacker gives a guard or a tackle who's trying to get up to the second level to block those linebackers a little bit of a better chance.
Saw Jason come in at number 40, that forced leader of that defense, trying to rally his guys. And 2nd and 6, O'Korn looking to throw again, harassed, escapes, and flips it incomplete, just over the reach of the junior Grant Perry.
I just like the feel of John O'Korn right now. He just seems to be settling into the game, doing a very good job of dealing with the pressure. Just misses this one. Here comes Penn State again. They bring the blitz with Farmer. He could have taken off, but instead he sees a wide open Perry pulling away from Apke. They just miss it, but he looks poised tonight.
His parents in the upper deck said, "Oh, almost had that one." Ron Higdon in the back, sent out to the far right of the formation on 3rd and 6. Pressure. O'Korn hit, lofts it up. Over the shoulder catch made by Kekoa Crawford, wearing that coveted Michigan number 1.
He gets hit. Watch John O'Korn as he throws this. Jason Kabinda, nobody picks him up. Boom. And how about the throw by O'Korn? Outside shoulder, great adjustment by Crawford. That's execution by Michigan on 3rd down.
Just his 10th catch of the season. 1st and goal from the 6. Higdon grabbed immediately, no gain. You wear that number 1 that Anthony Carter, Derek Alexander, Braylon Edwards, David Terrell, they all wore that number 1. You better be consistently good. And so far, Crawford really hasn't lived up to it. He's still learning and developing. That's a big play.
That is a huge play for him. And like I said, John O'Korn been scrutinized by even his own fan base. For him to step up like that on that 3rd down, that is a big-time play.
Isaac picks his way into the end zone, and Michigan right back in it. Within 2 in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Right guard Owenu leads the way from the right. He comes around, an old-fashioned Jim Harbaugh power play. For these tight ends also coming off the ball, pushing people around. McCune, 84. Wait till you see his block, Chris.
The boos again for Nordine, who missed that PAT and broke that string of 301 consecutive PATs made by the Maize and Blue. They don't go for the 2-pointer and the tie, as the kicker hears it again. That's the more typical result, and Michigan draws within a point now.
Both the tight ends here, Gentry and McCune. Watch them. Watch this block, and especially this block. And then the big guard, the power play comes around. Owenu. Watch those 2 tight ends. Look at them driving people off the ball. And then when you get blocks on the play side like that, it makes it so easy for even a 350-pound guard to pull around and make a push block.
Paula and Gary O'Korn way up there in the rafters, the nosebleed seats. The only folks not wearing white are the Michigan fans.
Well, look where they are.
Yeah, it's.
I already lost them.
You don't.
I already lost them.
You don't get the prime seats
Somewhere
as a visitor in the Big Ten. That's for sure. It's the same thing for fans of Michigan Stadium.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere you go in the Big Ten. What a drive by Michigan. The 3rd down, or the 4th down that Penn State went for. The adjustment by Don Brown to put Lavert Hill there in the slot. Makes a good play against Deshaun Hamilton. And then John O'Korn in Michigan, 8 plays, 67 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, and 2 touchdowns and 2 red zone trips. But you do go back to that drop by Barkley, open on the wheel route. He took a peek at the safety.
Yeah.
That would have set him up in scoring position. Instead, Michigan has quieted 106,000. Barkley is at his goal line. Bogue drives it right into the end zone, and Saquon will take a knee. All right, let's see how we did in the Affleck trivia question, Bear. We guessed 94 Penn State, Ohio State.
What do you have, Bear?
I'll answer that Affleck trivia question for you. You had the right team. It was Ohio State. However, it was 1999 Remember when Penn State got to #2 in the country and beat the Buckeyes that year 23-10.
They did. Then they tailed off there. I think they lost a couple games late in the season in 1999. Close.
Remember the 05 Ohio State-Penn State game? That was an incredible game where Penn State and Joe Paterno, they're kind of bringing their football program back to a national elite level. And I just remember Michael Robinson, and it was a very, very good Penn State team that year.
Nittany Lions in Columbus. The Buckeyes enjoying a bye week to get ready today. McSorley on first down, a long throw over the head of Deshaun Hamilton as we go back to Cassidy.
Dr. Pepper Championship Drive update. Number 11 USC at number 13 Notre Dame, and Brandon Wimbush with a few stutter steps here takes off 24 yards to the 10, and this would lead to a rushing touchdown for him. One of 3 scores so far for Wimbush. The Irish have outrushed USC 176-7. It's 28-0 Notre Dame. Back to you guys.
Only loss for Notre Dame, 1 point to Georgia. They beat Michigan State. They still host NC State next week. Some big games for the Irish coming up.
And 2nd and 10. Completion to Johnson. Stiff arm, fighting, and does get first down yardage across the 35 against Hill. They are taking the Trojans to the woodshed there in
28-0. Yeah, they will. If they hold on to a lead like that, you got to believe that the committee in a few weeks and others who are voting are going to definitely be paying attention to Notre Dame. Kind of a forgotten team up to this point, kind of on the back burner. Not after tonight.
Challenging schedule and a visit to Miami coming up in November.
That's right.
Canes remaining undefeated with a win over Syracuse
and
today.
And Stanford still out there waiting for them. So they've got a lot of heavyweight opponents to help their cause if they keep winning.
Minute 34 before halftime. 3 timeouts for Penn State. And another downfield shot. Hamilton working one-on-one. Makes a catch. Tremendous job. Beat Josh Metellus, and Penn State is set up.
What Joe Moorhead is saying, if Deshaun Hamilton is covered by Kennel or Metellus, we're going after that matchup. Great throw again by McSorley. Throws a deep ball so well. We saw it last year so often. We haven't seen it as much this year, but Michigan's man-to-man coverage, tight press man, is providing him opportunities.
They drop it in the garbage can in that game. He got 36 yards, and now Barkley on a handoff scoots for about 8. Really, you're right, really makes that throw exceptionally well, doesn't he?
He really does. And how about the move there? You just appreciate little things like this. Barkley, this is Devin Bush. Just a shimmy, shake, and gets around him. You're going to have to get retaped there at halftime for Devin Bush.
A lot of talented defenders look pretty foolish. You're right. Yeah. And Bush, one of the most athletic guys in this defense, top tackler. Outmaneuvered on that play. 2nd and 1. Penn State still with the 3 timeouts. So time not an issue. Option into the boundary. Barkley penned in and dropped for a loss by Mike McCray. And now looks like Penn State will stop the clock for a timeout here. What an enjoyable game here. The electric atmosphere. First drive, Penn State with a Barkley 69-yard touchdown run on a wrinkle. They score again with Barkley. The second possession, Michigan just trying to withstand some haymakers, but they got a takeaway, and they worked their way back in the game.
Like we talked about, I mean, Penn State took advantage of being at home. Huge play by Barkley. Give Michigan a lot of credit, because there are a lot of teams that wouldn't have been able to kind of endure that start on the road in this environment. They stuck to their guns. They were conservative with their play calling early, eventually got the big interception because they were relying on their defense to make a play. That interception really changed just the feel in this stadium and on the field. And all of a sudden they got favorable field position, able to take advantage of it.
Running game going a little bit, and John O'Korn settling down, making some plays back here in his home state. But now Penn State trying to answer before halftime. Michigan will get the football to begin the second half, but the Lions trying to stretch the lead. They face a 3rd and 3 here.
Now, you know that Michigan's going to put a lot of pressure on that offensive line. They're going to keep you guessing as they try to shoot gaps. That's what Don Brown prides himself on, especially on 3rd down. He told us this week, 3rd down is just kind of its own world for our defense. We take so much pride in what we do. Kind of a game within the game.
18 for 88. That's what opponents were converting 3rd downs against Michigan coming in. Penn State 2 of 4 so far.
Yeah, you're number 1 in the country in third down conversion rate defensively. It's going to keep you in a lot of football games, give you a chance to win a lot of games. They're going to tighten up their man coverage here. Saw Penn State running a play with a kind of a hook and lateral. They practice with Barkley coming out when they throw the ball to Deshaun Hamilton.
McSorley. Luke for Gesicki, who goes up and high points the football inside the 5. First and goal.
Hudson is 6 feet tall. Gesicki is 6'6". Put the ball as high as you can and let him go down. Great awareness. The progressive pylon cam. He not only goes up and finds the football, but the presence of mind to get that right foot down inbounds for the completion.
Empty backfield now. Here comes Barkley. They fake it to him. McSorley. Keeper scores. And Gesicki just vaulted up and over his quarterback, who races in to give Penn State his 7-point lead. Check out the replay of this Gesicki leap. I mean, he went up high point of the football, then shows the hops on the celebration. You better be sure you clear the quarterback.
No doubt. He's got those kind of hops.
McSorley, a very quick and elusive runner. And Penn State, a terrific answer to Michigan's second touchdown drive. Tyler Davis makes it 21-13.
This is what Saquon Barkley can do for you, even when he doesn't get the football. Watch the Michigan defense concerned about number 26. See ya. Took 4 linebackers and a safety with him. There's nobody left to make the tackle.
And here's what happened after the score.
Here comes 88. Here he comes.
He shoved the quarterback's head down. Now look, don't try that at home.
That looks like one of those dunks in the spring.
Are you kidding me? I mean, the dude is the team slam dunk champion. You know, great volleyball and basketball players.
You know the slam dunk competition where you're like, all right, here, you stand right here. I'm going to go up and over you and just jam it. Looks like they've done that before.
The dude does weigh 250. It's a lot pushing down on the head of a quarterback.
What an athlete.
Wow. Yeah, this is a big difference because you pointed out the mismatch with Hamilton. Barkley, an obvious mismatch, and this guy can be a nightmare for defenses as well.
And see, you brought up 8 yards of reception coming in. He hasn't had a chance to make many plays. You know, after every defensive coordinator watched how Penn State's season ended last year, guess what they thought? We have to crowd the line for Barkley, and we have to play soft coverage on the outside because we don't want to be one of those teams that are on the highlights where McSorley's throwing touchdown passes to those receivers and Gesicki. So they've softened the coverage, taken away, playing more zone, taking away the big plays. Michigan's not doing that. They're playing a lot of man.
And the ball driven deep. Brad Hawkins will take a knee. And Michigan with 53 seconds to work with before halftime. Beautiful pictures. The aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, watching over the hard work and determination of blimp-worthy athletes for more than 60 years. Goodyear, official sponsor of the college football playoff. It's a beautiful photogenic scene. That's where the whiteout has it over the blackout of any other color gimmick.
To come up with some way to kind of stop the blackouts. It's just not a great look on TV if you're a fan base trying to sell your school. It's not a good look.
Michigan has a couple of timeouts if they feel like getting adventurous here in the final 53 seconds. And they feed Higdon, who just plows in the middle. So the Capital One halftime report. Kevin Negandhi, Mac Brown, and Booger McFarland. Just seconds away now. Update you on what's going on in South Bend. A beat down by the Irish for the moment. O'Korn now steps up, takes a look downfield. Flag is down as the ball is complete on the far side to Crawford, but that was in the holding zone.
Yeah, Bushel Beatty, the right tackle, just fooled.
Holding. Offense. Number 76. 10-yard penalty. second down.
Michigan, a school record 16 penalties a week ago. Harbaugh disagreed with many of the calls, but that was embarrassing. This is their third flag so far tonight.
Yeah, and I think the thing that he really, he talked about some of the replays and he was able to look back, but the reality is still false starts, holdings, delay of games. Those are drive killers. With this offense, you cannot afford to be at 2nd and 12 or 2nd and 15.
That one negated a 24-yard gain. So they'll feed Higdon.
James Franklin yelling at the official to get a timeout.
So he's going to spend one hoping to force Michigan to at least punt here. It's going to be 3rd and 14.
Yeah, he's going to save. Yeah, he's got one more timeout. Michigan more than likely runs the football here.
Surprising we've had 5 touchdowns in this first half with
a little bit
dominant defense.
Yeah, especially the way the game started.
Kickoff week 7 in the NFL. Sunday NFL countdown over on ESPN begins at 10 o'clock Eastern time. 3 hours gets ready for kickoffs. And on Monday Night Football, the Redskins and the first place Eagles also available in Spanish on ESPN2. Proud Michigan grad Tom Brady is going to be featured in the countdown as he and Matt Ryan kind of take a look at the Super Bowl, relive it from their perspective.
Oh, cool.
So countdown.
How about the Eagles-Redskins? It's actually a really good Monday night game. Carson Wentz, Kirk Cousins, the way those two guys are playing right now. Especially the Eagles. Yeah.
Saquon with 109 yards, a much quieter second quarter after the first quarter. Penn State thinking if you can get a stop, spend that final timeout, at least force Michigan to punt the ball. O'Korn flushed, scrambles, and delivers a completion, but far short of the first down and out of bounds, so Penn State can save the timeout with 17 seconds to go.
Yeah, I think everybody's thinking the same thing. They think they're going to run the football, make Penn State use that last timeout, get a clean punt off, and go in at the half, but instead now Penn State not only forces the punt, but now they've got that one timeout. Who knows what could happen?
Yeah, if Tompkins can create something with the return, perhaps Penn State will be able to take a shot toward the end zone. And having that timeout is absolutely critical. That's just it's a mental mistake by McHugh to step out of bounds there. Robbins, a low boot. Tompkins from the 33. Turns the corner and is knocked out near midfield. 6 seconds to go and a timeout.
Gives you a chance with the way Michigan's playing man-to-man. You've got Gesicki making plays downfield. We've seen Deshaun Hamilton against the slot.
If you loft it downfield, it's probably going to take all 6 seconds.
I'm not saying loft it, but I'm saying you can throw a back shoulder fade, or you can somehow find about a 15, 18-yard route here.
You can pick up, 15 to 20 yards. You can give Tyler Davis a reasonable chance at a field goal, provided you don't use up all 6 seconds.
They've had enough. They're happy with the lead.
So after all that, you kneel down from McSorley. Now some fireworks here at a whiteout night. Penn State jumped to
when the game could have gotten away, Chris.
Tommy, I love to hear that about those first down throws, and I think that's going to allow them to really give themselves a chance to compete here and move the football.
Born 7 of 9 throwing the ball. It's another first down throw off the hands of Hill. He was well covered as Manny Bowen was closing in on the fullback.
I think it's worth looking at John O'Korn for people that are just tuning in. He came into this game not having his best performances. Obviously, he played well when he came in for Wilton Speight against Purdue, but against Michigan State, the 5 turnovers against Indiana, really struggled. 58 yards through the air, and I've just sensed a feel even up here that he feels good coming back close to his home where he grew up. We'll see how that plays out in the second half.
Straight back on 2nd and 10. O'Korn steps up, directs a block, and loses the football. Wolverines retain possession. That was Grant Perry coming back to recover the fumble.
Well, Jason Kabinda hit him hard. Ball came out. The leader of the Penn State defense. Pretty heads-up play here by Grant Perry. I love it. Like you said, he called his shot. He wants Hickman to come up with a block, but Jason Kabinda definitely hits him. That ball is out. And then in the background's 88, Grant Perry, heads-up play to keep the football.
And after he dives over the quarterback trying to get the fumble, it was slow to get up. Now has to deal with all this noise on 3rd and 4.
Perry
like at 4.
Yeah, Perry is a great weapon for 3rd down plays for Michigan.
Lions crowd the line, then back out. O'Korn scoots and dives and stretches for a 1st down across the 35.
Boy, I love that he did not hesitate here. He knew the situation. He knew that it was 3rd down and 4. And he felt if he got a certain look, he wasn't going to wait. And he got exactly what he wanted. And what I love, Chris, is it about 2 yards short of the 1st down, he had to lower his shoulder and take on Manny Bowen, 43, a middle linebacker right there, gets around him and picks up the 1st down.
He's the leading rusher tonight for Michigan. 35 yards for O'Korn on his scrambles. Another 1st down throw. And again, just off the fingertips of Perry. Have not yet involved Perry tonight.
No, and I think in watching them play since Tariq Black has gone down with an injury and out for the year, they're still waiting for somebody to emerge and become that guy, that vertical threat that can, if defenses load up against their running game or their short passes to tight ends, somebody can make them pay for it. We saw Crawford earlier make a big play, but somebody tonight is going to have to make a play downfield in their passing game.
Eddie McDoom in motion. It's a jet sweep. And McDoom makes a cut and is dragged down at the 44 by Kabinda. It'll be 3rd and short.
And McDoom is their perimeter playmaker. Saw him earlier almost take a pass and get into the end zone. Came just a couple yards short. And this time, because of that speed, and he just has a good feel for the jet sweep, gives him a chance. Again, they want to stay in these 3rd and short situations.
2 of 7 on 3rd down tonight. Isaac, the most physical of the running backs, takes the pitch. Makes a cut, follows a couple blockers, and gets a 1st down into Penn State territory.
Michigan going outside. Penn State had everybody loaded up in the gaps, shooting the gaps in the inside in the trenches. And Kugler gets to the outside. There's 57 leading the way. Mason Cole, what an athletic offensive lineman. He's able to get out front, so they get to the edge and outflank Penn State and get into Penn State territory with that 1st down.
His last start against a ranked team, O'Korn, September of 2014 when he was at Houston against BYU. It's been a while. This kind of competition for O'Korn as a starter. Play action, they flip it back. Donovan Peoples-Jones just dropped it. They had the bubble screen set up.
Much like Saquon Barkley earlier tonight, missed the football because he started to think about what he wanted to do before he caught it. I think Peoples-Jones, just a true freshman, he hurried himself here. If he was able to just relax, make the catch, he had a convoy in front of him. The play was perfectly designed. They had Penn State in the exact position that they wanted to. Ball was thrown actually well. Just was unable to hold on to it.
But Tim Grebno and Harbaugh picking up on what you mentioned, giving O'Korn a chance to throw on 1st down.
There's that blitz.
Play action again. O'Korn wanted to look downfield. Instead, he'll be dropped. Hit and whistled to the ground by Ryan Buchholz. 3rd sack of the season for the defensive end.
Yeah, that is a tough one because the blitz comes from here and from here, from the outside. Watch the backs do a good job of coming off their play fake. They pick it up, but O'Korn just not able to pull away from Buchholz, who got off of the block from Bredesen.
3rd and 16, a huge play for Buchholz and that Lions defense right there. Empty backfield. O'Korn across the middle. Peoples-Jones makes the catch, stumbles, and is stopped 7 yards short of a 1st down, 4th down.
Puts them at about, looks like about 4th and 6 or 7. And as much as Jim Harbaugh trusts his defense, can rely on his punter to try to pin Penn State back deep in their own territory.
Robbins, the freshman, Hasn't done an outstanding job of that yet this year. Has knocked 6 punts down inside the 20. Tompkins is standing at the 10. Very high and short kick. Not fielded. Takes a backwards bounce, and this one will be down by the Wolverine.
Joe Moorhead has done a very good job of mixing up the looks for Saquon Barkley. Different formations. You can see left, middle, and right even. This is not just carries. This is catching the ball out of the backfield. Pretty good job of taking advantage of that week off and trying to break some tendencies. You can see he started fast. First 3 touches, big plays. Since then, just 8 carries for 20 yards.
You know, the delayed handoff, Barkley trying to bounce it. Immediate penetration and nowhere to run, and able to get 2 yards before Devin Bush grabbed him.
Well, Maurice Hurst, first time I think we may have called his name. He is a big fella in the inside of this defense, and talked in the open about how quick his first step is. He disrupts so many plays for Michigan's defense and gets into the opponent's backfield. That time blew that play up at the very beginning.
Dad made a living playing football for the Patriots, and Hurst, certain NFL player himself. On a slant catch. Hamilton in space. Out near midfield, and Deshaun Hamilton continues to plague this Wolverine defense.
Again, the linebackers, watch the linebackers with the action, get out of the throwing lane, and it opened it up for Trace McSorley. See that? McCray hesitates, looks just for a second at Saquon Barkley. There's that throwing lane for McSorley. Gives Deshaun Hamilton an opportunity against Kennel again. One-on-one, left alone. It's a tough matchup for the Michigan defense.
His 4th catch, he continues to extend his own Penn State career reception record, now with 187. Barkley, they fake it to him. McSorley takes off. And Trace shows the quicks and scoots out at the 39.
Well, we knew coming in tonight he was going to have to run the football. This is actually a really good read here. Right guard pulls around. Brandon Mann picks up a nice block. McCray takes Barkley. They'd rather have the ball in the hands of 9. But I'll tell you what, Trace McSorley reading McCray, going out with Barkley. All of a sudden, you start to look at Trace McSorley averaging almost 7 yards a carry tonight.
As a touchdown run, Silky for his first touchdown pass. He's thrown one in the last 21 games. Short throw. And stumbling down to Saquon at the 30. Frustrated. He'll be mad at himself for that because he had a little more space there.
How about that? McCray has his hands full. He is matched up one-on-one, and how fortunate Michigan is here that he lost his balance. These linebackers are being challenged in every which way you can imagine tonight. Eye discipline, matchups one-on-one against a big tight end, Gesicki, lining up against Saquon Barkley.
Physical. I mean, he goes 240. That's a big ask to ask him to stay with Saquon.
Yeah, it is. Saquon Barkley has become almost a receiver with his ability to run routes.
Came in leading this team in receptions. On 2nd and 2, McSorley steps up and escapes. Takes, and he'll be knocked out of bounds. It's a first down. We're close to it at the Michigan 29. Winovich limping back. He was giving chase. It's been a frustrating night for the Michigan pass rush so far, hasn't it?
Sure has. They're used to getting into that backfield. He dove before McSorley got out of the pocket. I don't know if he came down a little bit wrong, but he has been very active this year.
He got off to a fast start, had 5.5 sacks in a hurry, but didn't have any the last couple of games. It is a first down on the scramble. Barkley in the pitch. Nowhere to run. Tries to circle back and escape. Ducks down for a loss of 3. Lavert Hill off the corner wasn't fooled and blew up the play.
That is called leverage. And that's key to stopping Saquon Barkley. If you're going to defend him, you can't let him get outside. Now he comes back this way, and now you got to make sure that you don't let him get outside the other side. Pay that time saying, okay, I can't let him bounce to the outside. Now he's got the whole field to deal with. So the entire Michigan defense, great job of leverage and running to the football and not letting him get loose.
John Johnson did not make a block. The receiver kind of released downfield, and now Miles Sanders spelling Barkley. Michigan brings pressure. McSorley escapes again. Now flips it short and complete to Hamilton, who's got it knocked out at the 22.
There's the strength of what McSorley can do. He's undersized. You think he's a little guy. He's not going to be able to deal with this, but they bring the blitz, and I really thought Hudson had a chance to bring him down. He's able to pull away from that and eventually finds Hamilton to pick up positive yards, but Khaleke Hudson is a very, very good blitzer with a lot of power, but McSorley able to shake free from him to keep that play alive.
They're in field goal range, but need 3 for a first down. Sanders is still the tailback. McSorley and Hamilton again. Another first down as that clutch Penn State target comes up with another play.
I think all of us are saying, okay, who's on Deshaun Hamilton? They put one of their better men, and actually, in my opinion, their best cover man, Hill. He's able to use that one-on-one opportunity. The ball is thrown perfectly low, where just Hamilton can come up with it. But he did a great job at the top of his route, creating a stem and just a little bit of a hesitation by Hill before he broke back to the inside. And that's all Trace McSorley needed.
Yeah, great throw. They beat their best cover guy. Barkley back in the game. Fake it to him. McSorley picks his way into the secondary, to the edge, diving, touchdown! McSorley's second touchdown run tonight. Checked that the ball did hit the pylon before he hit the ground. Yeah, that's a touchdown. Progressive Pylon Ken gives you a terrific look at the 9th play of an 80-yard touchdown drive on their first possession of the second half. That was the McSorley show, that drive, Kirk.
Sure was.
Clutch completions, some very productive runs. And the touchdown stretches the Penn State. You're singing along. I appreciate it.
That's cool.
Michigan, Kurt, they allowed 3 rushing touchdowns in their first 6 games total. Penn State's got 4 tonight. 2 by Barkley and now 2 by McSorley, who was brilliant on that drive. This is Hawkins, one of the new return men for Michigan. Trying to stretch it out. He'll be knocked down at the 20. McSorley was 4 for 4 passing on the drive. Ran it 3 times for 28, including this touchdown.
Yeah, Steven Gonzalez is going to pull around. That actually brings Bush with him. But the read is right here for Trace McSorley. He'll read McCray. He goes to the outside to take Barkley away. And then this is just an athletic play. Getting to the backside. Some great blocks up front by Brandon Mann against Maurice Hurst. A great cutback and the instincts to get to the corner for the touchdown.
You pointed out, though, it's been a rough night collectively for a very talented group of Michigan linebackers. O'Korn and the offense back to work, down by 15. Once again, it's a first down throw. Peoples-Jones trying to spin free, stays alive, and fights across the 35.
Remember, this Michigan team showed us in the first half great poise. When they got down 14 in the blink of an eye to start this game, they kind of just stuck to their game plan, got themselves back in this football game. And, you know, I know clock's running here on them in the third quarter, but they're one drive away from starting to believe that they can get back and have a chance to still win this game.
O'Korn trying to escape. Still scrambling and just heaves it far side. It's going to be incomplete. It was out of bounds. Perry was in the neighborhood.
The one area that John O'Korn is still growing. Remember, he played a lot of football in 13 when he was the AAC Rookie of the Year. 14, he got benched at Houston. Transfers in 15. Backs up Wilton Spate last year. So he hasn't really played a lot of football since going back to 13. I still feel that he tries to hold on to the football and tries to make a play because of his athletic ability to scramble. Sometimes you just got to get rid of the ball, either check it down or throw it away. So at times he holds on to it a little bit too long.
Some Michigan fans were calling for Brandon Peters to replace O'Korn. This is Isaac plowing ahead. Peters really has not had any experience at all. Has a good arm, but Harbaugh sticking with O'Korn. He says in terms of experience and talent, he's our guy.
Yeah, and I think Brandon Peters will be in an interesting battle with Dylan McCaffrey down the road to become the next starter. But I think right now, with where they are, with as much youth as they have around that position, you got to go with a guy like John O'Korn, who's played a lot of football.
He's got to get 6 yards here to keep the drive alive. Penn State bringing some pressure. Wolverines pick it up, and O'Korn finally runs out of time, and he'll be hit way back at the 28 by Kabinda and Bowen. And gets up slowly.
Well, these routes took forever. These Michigan receivers are going to go downfield, but watch O'Korn kind of waiting for somebody to break free. They're way downfield. The only guy that he had short was Zach Gentry off to the right, who was covered, and everybody else is 15, 20 yards downfield, and Penn State is coming after John O'Korn. There's nothing he can do there.
Tompkins to receive the punt. Makes a fair catch. Kabinda, one of the many Lion leaders out last year, helplessly watching the beatdown, back and making a big impact tonight at linebacker.
Give up, Skeletor. You're finished.
Curse you, He-Man! You interfering imbecile!
Give us one good reason we shouldn't vanquish you to another dimension.
Okay, guys, hear me out. Switching to Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance?
Huh, he does make a point.
Yes!
I do like to save money.
Catch you on the flip, suckers!
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
Wendy's new chicken tenders are perfectly crispy and tender. And with a new side of salsa sauce, they're even better. So now the question is,
to dip or not to dip?
For a limited time, try the new chicken tenders with fries and a drink for just $5. Only at Wendy's.
Introducing Degree Ultra Clear Black plus White. Saves your white clothes from yellow stains and black clothes from white marks. Still with 48-hour sweat protection. Degree Ultra Clear Black plus White. It won't let you down.
There's a challenging spirit within Honda. It gives us the courage to go faster and the thinking to make it real. Whether it looks like a truck, a sedan, or a coupe, inside is the heart of a race car.
Okay, look who it is!
I have to get off this planet on November 3rd. Thunder will reign. Biggest muscle in the body.
I've got lots of muscles, so technically more brains. Thor, Ragnarok, rated PG-13.
I'm Val, the Orange Money Retirement Squirrel from Voya. I represent the money you save for the future.
Who's he?
He's the green money you can spend now. What's up?
Gonna pay some bills, maybe buy a new tennis racket.
He's got a killer backhand.
When it's time to get organized for retirement, it's time to get Voya.
Brad Paisley and Carrie Underwood host the CMA Awards live November 8th on ABC.
Pacific Life game summary, Kirk, showcasing a tremendous night on the ground for Penn State. This is Barkley's second touchdown run. McSorley's added a couple. They've already rushed for more yards than they've been averaging per game coming into this.
Yeah, Michigan found themselves getting back into the game with a couple touchdowns in the second quarter. But how about the way Trace McSorley finished the first half and then got things started here in this second half with another touchdown to put Penn State now up by 15 with the football back.
McSorley piling up 267 yards total offense to complement what that man has done.
Got the feeling it was the Michigan defense that when they were down 14, they came up with the interception to spark them and get their offense going. You kind of has that feel again. If they're going to get back into this game, their defense is going to have to make another play.
It was David Long with the pick along the sidelines in the return that set up Michigan's first touchdown drive. Again, Barkley, direct snap. Hammers ahead into heavy traffic for about 4. Been a wrinkle they worked on in the bye week. If you joined us late, Saquon 5 or 6 times now has taken the direct snap. They could do a number of things off of it.
And they shift to it late. You know, and Michigan's seen it now, maybe 5 or 6 snaps, and Like I told you, it just feels that Don Brown, his message to his team was that when they go to that look, we've got to make sure that Barkley doesn't hurt us.
Jim Moorhead is going to be somebody's head coach in the future. Franklin knows it. He's becoming a big name. There's a zip on the far side. Too hot to handle. Barkley out there in the perimeter. You know, he's a good pass catcher for a running back, but it's a lot to ask. He doesn't have true wide receiver skills, that's for sure. Not yet. He's still working hard.
Yeah, it's an area, like I said, I think he's really improved, especially as a route runner. I don't know if fans at home who've never seen him in person can fully appreciate the way he's built, the commitment that he has put into that weight room, especially when it comes to squats and working his lower body. I mean, he is a handful, and as this game goes on, he can start to really wear on the Michigan defense.
Wolverines a chance to get up the field as McSorley is pressured and sacked on third down. Charging in was Kwity Paye, a backup defensive end, and the punt is forced.
Michigan just outnumbered Penn State up front. Barkley stayed in to try to help out, but even with Barkley in there, they still, that is what Don Brown does on third down. He's going to keep you guessing on where it's coming from, slants his defensive line to occupy blockers, and somebody typically comes free, and that time Paye came free for the sack.
And the Michigan special teams provide a spark. They did block 4 punts a year ago. Come after it. Gillikin is able to get it away. Short kick. Takes a sideways bounce out inside the 30-yard line. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Committed to honoring blimp-worthy athletes who demonstrate hard work on and off the field. Goodyear, official sponsor of the college football playoff.
Another thing to keep in mind about Michigan's offense is they don't necessarily have a lot of big play ability. Minute 39 to go in the third quarter, down 15. They're more of typically a team that's going to drive 8 plays, 9 plays, 10 plays. When they have this far to go, they need a spark. They need somebody to try to win a one-on-one battle and make a big play.
We talked to Jim Harbaugh this week. You sensed that he was really preoccupied, searching for answers, trying to come up with ways to create those chunk plays in this environment. Evans takes the pitch. It's difficult with the crowd noise to march the field, as you said, and they have not really been able to come up with big plays.
Yeah, and if you're Brent Pry, the defensive coordinator from Penn State, you're thinking, all right, guys, let's play smart. Let's play smart. We're up 15. Let's not give up that big play. Let's keep everything in front of us. Let's make them earn every.
Coming up on the final minute of the third quarter. Here's Pry. Born straight back on second down. Backpedaling. Searching. Fires far side off the hands of the fullback Hill, who was in space, but well covered by Koa Farmer. Allen, the safety, pressured him.
You know, we talk so much tonight about what Don Brown does, but you know what? Who else is aggressive is Brent Pry. I think he believes in his guys and what they can do. It's a good push in the middle, but eventually it's Marcus Allen, one of the leaders of this team, getting home and chasing John O'Corn out of that pocket.
When Allen makes hits, you can hear them. An aggressive safety. An aggressive crowd on 3rd and 10. Lions rush 4. O'Corn delivers complete. That's the tight end McCune. A critical first down out of the 38.
How about the poise to sit in that pocket in front of that crowd, and you see him work across the middle here, matched up with Christian Campbell. A little bit late in getting over Campbell, which allows McCune to be able to pull away and pick up that first down. A great job up front by the offensive line of communicating in front of this crowd on 3rd down. Literally, it feels like with the game on the line, big conversion there on 3rd and 10.
Penn State had completely contained the Michigan tight ends until that 12-yard gain. Higdon into heavy traffic.
That's tough sledding in there with Kabenda and Manny Bowen.
So we're headed to the 4th quarter, Kirk, here in Happy Valley, and Penn State with a 15-point lead, trying to survive the first of this 3-game gauntlet. Wolverines trying to keep their Big Ten East title hopes alive. 15 minutes to play in this whiteout night in Happy Valley. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. Calling this the biggest Penn State home game in about 8 years. It's the first matchup of top 25 teams here in a while. And Penn State, in the last 8 of those, lost 7 of them. 7 out of 8 in ranked versus ranked. The exception was the Wisconsin victory in the Big Ten championship game. So this would stand out. In the I formation, Ty Isaac takes the pitch, and it's a couple good blocks on the edge. It's a nice gain. A flag comes in very late from behind the play. You expect it to be against the offense.
I wonder if it's a chop block when that flag was thrown.
Personal foul, chop block, offense, number 19, number 74, 15-yard penalty, second down.
They're all over it. Kirk Bredesen and Poggi, the fullback, combining on the illegal block.
One goes high, one goes low on Kabenda. Bredesen just kind of threw him, probably unaware that Poggi was going to go low. And anytime you have 2 players engaged, one high and one low, they're going to call that.
Didn't look simultaneous. Typically,
no, but I think because
at the same time.
Doesn't have to be. Dave Kataya up here giving me the hand signals. Appreciate that, Ben.
2nd and 21 after the penalty. O'Korn has time and delivers downfield. And the catch is made by Grant Perry, his first of the night in Penn State territory now.
You know, you want an answer to why Jim Harbaugh doesn't even think about Brandon Peters right now with John O'Korn? It's throws like this. It's ability like this. Great job up front. Nice job. He throws in rhythm. And there's Grant Perry. There's the guy that's been around and needs to make plays in these situations. But that is a perfectly thrown football by John O'Korn. Hits him right in stride and facing second and forever. Yeah. Now they got a first down near midfield.
Talked about the need for chunk plays. That's just their second play tonight of 20-plus yards. Both of them passes. O'Korn straight back. They pick up pressure for a minute, and then off the edge, the corner blitz forces the fumble. Christian Campbell came off the edge. Penn State pointing their way. It is a turnover. Coming up with the football is Robert Windsor, but it's that long, athletic corner out of Alabama who made the play.
Well, Higdon picked it up. It's a good job initially, but Higdon just doesn't sustain his block. And the ball comes out. It almost looked like it kind of slipped out of his hand. I don't know if Campbell knocked it out or not. And I don't know if his arm was coming forward. It looked like the ball may have just slipped out. Yeah, it looks like it hit. Yeah, his arm. The ball actually engages with Campbell instead of Campbell hitting the ball. The ball came out. It's a fumble.
Campbell again came up with a pick against Northwestern. Just a Hail Mary to seal it. And second takeaway. Now Penn State set up at the Michigan 46.
Do they go here?
Whistle. Michigan signaling a timeout.
Yeah, they want to take a look to see if the ball was actually coming forward.
I was going to use this as a timeout to challenge the call here.
Is the arm coming forward? John O'Korn, by the way, after he came out of the scrum, he was yelling incomplete.
That's what quarterbacks do.
Yeah, typically. Try to sell it. Oh, and they got another song going here. We got Darius Rucker going now, Chris.
Good stuff.
Wagon wheel.
That's your genre. You're all over that. Darius, our friend of the Game Day show.
Here they go.
You're convinced that this is not going to stand. This replay is going to be upheld here, right?
Michigan is challenging the previous play of a fumble versus a forward pass.
So Dennis Lipsky, the replay official, will take a look at it. It's a crucial play because Penn State chance to just about put this game away if they can cash in the takeaway. If it stands, we'll take a break. Loses the timeout, so Penn State, after the takeaway, takes over at the 46. Terrific play by Campbell, who forced that fumble. One of those 4 seniors in the defensive backfield of Penn State. It's a great group. First down, completion. Saeed Blacknall spins free. He'll be dropped for just a short gain and get some serious urgency now for this Michigan defense.
No doubt about it, Chris. It's interesting you bring up the seniors on this defense and the veterans who have played a lot of football, meaning for Penn State. It was Michigan last year that had the upper hand with the experience. All those seniors on defense, and lost 10 of those guys.
You're right, though. Penn State has 7 senior starters in defense. The whole back end is seniors.
All seniors. And a lot of these guys, for 7 or 8 of them, have played a lot of football for 4 years. A lot of them played when they were young.
Campbell's a guy that really didn't. I mean, he's waited a long time to make an impact as a senior on this football team. McSorley, downfield. Oh, Saquon, touchdown on the juggle. Barkley's 3rd touchdown tonight was almost his 2nd big drop of the night. He made it look difficult. 42 yards for the score.
What a long night for Mike McCray. Boy, he brings it in. Mike McCray in the slot against Saquon Barkley one-on-one without a safety behind him. That's a running back against a linebacker. And that is a tough ask for Mike McCray.
So Trace McSorley's streak of 22 games with a touchdown pass as Barkley has collected his 3rd touchdown reception this season.
Yeah, 3 receptions tonight. Watch this. Puts him out of the slot. One-on-one. He grabs him actually as he goes by him. But that is tough to do. And at the very end, he holds on to it for another Lions touchdown.
It's been 60 years since I came up here to watch football. I've seen a hurricane that rocks and a tide that rolls. I've seen hustle, perseverance, and heart. I've seen a bowl of cotton that's anything but soft. Some call it hard work, determination, or grit. I call it blimp-worthy.
Tic Tac Orange, an irresistible burst of flavor. Tic Tac, go little.
Here it comes. The corner. A moment in time where seconds slow and senses quicken. Where you can barely tell where the car ends and you begin. The new Jaguar F-Type.
What can you do with 2 bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches for $5 from Dunkin'? Settle a debt, make a friend, save the day, or keep them both for this handsome devil. With 2 bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches for $5, the future is in your hands. America runs on Dunkin'.
Saturday Night Football on ABC is presented by Walmart. Walmart. Save money. Live better. And in part by Pacific Life. Experience the power of Pacific.
Barkley with the bobble and that signature like double windmill celebration.
I don't know what he's doing. He's doing it a lot this year, though.
No, there's the trophy that everybody in college football wants. It'll be awarded January 8th. Championship playoff trophy presented by Dr. Pepper. Semifinals New Year's Day in the Rose Bowl and in the Superdome. Championship game, of course, in Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Ambry Thomas from the goal line. Again, gets out. Gilligan, the kicker, takes a shot, but does drive him out of bounds. Week 7 of the NFL. Tomorrow morning with Sunday NFL Countdown. And it's Tom Brady and Matt Ryan reliving the Super Bowl from their perspective. Then on Monday Night Football over on ESPN, Redskins and the Eagles, a tasty matchup in the NFC East. And now Michigan, after having at one point cut into this lead, it was 14-13, 21 unanswered for the Nittany Lions. Higdon, what feels like a must-score possession for Michigan, a short game.
I thought it was interesting to watch Joe Moorhead and James Franklin with the lead, great field position after the turnover. Instead of saying, hey, you know what, let's go 4 corners, let's work the clock. They threw 2 passes. The second one was a touchdown. Now they get their defense out of the field. Very first play, they're blitzing from the slot. I mean, they remember last year in Ann Arbor.
Absolutely. It was 49-10. Horn flips it downfield, and Perry can't make the play inbounds, driven out by senior corner Grant Haley.
Pretty good throw, but remember, there is not face guarding in college football. So Haley in great position, using that sideline and to his advantage.
Haley, one of those guys, all the Lions talked about that loss in Ann Arbor that you mentioned, and their rededication, rebooting their season, saying enough's enough. We got to prove we could be top echelon in this conference, and they haven't lost a regular season game since then.
That's one of those cases where a players-only meeting after a loss like that actually works. They came together as a veteran unit and didn't look back.
Lions showing pressure on this 3rd and 7. Michigan just desperate to convert. They back out. Rush 4. O'Korn hit as he throws, but it's complete across the middle. Perry fighting and spinning inside the Penn State 45.
Again, O'Korn's been doing this all night. He's climbing that pocket instead of going to the outside and just gets the ball off before the pressure gets to him. Look at Miller not giving up, and literally as he throws the football, O'Korn going down. Still has enough on it to get the ball over top of Manny Bowen and into the hands of Grant Perry.
Crucial to keep any hope alive of a comeback inside of 12 minutes now. O'Korn, swarm, sacked. Parker Cothran joins the party. Defensive tackle making the play.
At that time, Penn State said enough of him stepping up into the pocket. Watch the interior of Penn State's defensive line. You have Cothran, and Cothran 52 and 41, a little bit of a twist. He wants to step up, but when you get a push in the middle, there's nowhere for the quarterback to go.
Such depth in this Penn State defensive line. Going to bounce it as Evans, stiff arm, fights out at the 46. He gains some of the yardage back. It's 3rd and very long.
How about Parker Cothran made that play, the previous play? Shoulder pad hanging out of that uniform, the Penn State uniform. Old school. He needs one of those white neck braces. You know, the old school Matt Millen neck brace.
He's going to come out now in 3rd and 13. That's not really his wheelhouse, 3rd and 13, is it? But they've got plenty of young, talented pass rushers in the pipeline here. He's still having a good time over there.
Possible blitz here.
Yep, they bring pressure off the edge. O'Korn flips it short, complete. Nowhere to run. Very short gain for Wheatley, the tight end, and it's got to be 4th down.
We got to give Brent Pry more credit. Brent Pry is having a great year, a great just era of taking over for Bob Shute last year as a defensive coordinator. Believes in an aggressive mindset. Has this defense playing with a ton of confidence.
Wolverines need 11 to keep the drive alive. Play action. Pressure. Sacked! Kevin Givens, who had a monster freshman year with 5 sacks, gets his first sack of this season.
Here he comes all the way around. How about that, Chris? Talk about a stunt. What an athlete to come all the way around, confuses that offensive line. And Penn State.
Wolverines scored touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. 4 different running backs scored touchdowns. Penn State's offense was hapless on 3rd down, and they got run out. We talked about the recovery, the reaction to that loss, Maria, has really shaped what Penn State's become since then. As the Lions take over, and they're still throwing. A slant is caught by Brandon Polk. And Maria, they are not taking their foot off the gas, are they?
They aren't at all. In fact, offensive coordinator Joe Moorhead gathered the entire offense together before this series and said, hey, you guys remember 49-10? Now the shoe's on the other foot, and we're not slowing down anytime soon. So if you thought they were going 4 corners, they're going to run that clock out, Kirk, it's not happening overnight.
It feels that way. Like they have something on their mind. 35-13, okay. They're talking to each other right now about what's going on.
Well, you know, listen, I mean, Franklin's not known for throttling back. He's the guy that iced a kicker at Georgia State when it was 59, whatever, and has continued to throw the ball way ahead in a lot of these games. There's an injured Michigan defender down. It's Josh Metellus, the safety they're looking at. But that was an interesting shot there. Franklin and Moorhead, a little conversation. Where do we go from here with the big lead?
I think internally, they've got a few schools, I think, circled that they felt maybe, you know, that things didn't quite go their way last year.
You think?
No, I'm just saying. I think there's 2 schools in particular that they've probably circled. This would be one of them.
Yeah, and another one is Ohio State on the road, followed by Michigan State on the road. But, you know, Penn State playing as the #2 team for the first time since '99. They were wearing the target of almost a double-digit favorite coming in here. But the positivity and the confidence that we saw from this staff and from this team has carried forth into this game.
Well, that's why we were talking this morning on game day. People were asking, is Penn State deserving of that #2 ranking based on what they've done this year? To me, it was really more about what they accomplished last year. And because so many of those players were back this year, you just knew what they're capable of doing. And tonight, I think, is a little bit of a reminder. Don't forget, Michigan's defense, you know what they do to most teams that they play? They shut them down.
Penn State's gained 449. Barkley still in the game, spun down for a loss. This is the first ranked opponent that Penn State has played. So, you know, it's fair to have some skepticism about the #2 ranking. But this is a strong statement tonight.
Yeah, for me, I thought they were deserving. If you're looking at around the other teams in the country, and I guess if you're going to hang your hat on who they have beaten, sure. But I just don't forget this team, other than maybe 4 or 5 guys who are no longer here, this is the exact same team that caught the attention's eye, and everybody was talking about him going into the Rose Bowl last year. Most of these guys are on this team.
Sort of looking to throw, but escapes, gets a block. McSorley continues to hurt Michigan as a runner and a thrower. It's 1st and goal.
If you blitz your linebackers and you play man-to-man, you tell me who's left to be able to account for the quarterback. If you're not going to spy him and you play man-to-man, everybody else is with a receiver. Nobody's there to pick up the quarterback. That's why we talked all week about Trace McSorley's feet are going to be a big factor in this game, scrambling, because Michigan better spy on him or he's going to have a lot of space to take off and run. Tonight, 10 carries, almost 70 yards.
And a couple of touchdowns. You fake it to Barkley. McSorley looking for the hat trick. Fighting. Reaches. Touchdown. Remember the beat down in the big house indeed, as Penn State is punishing Michigan.
How about the effort at the end? Talk about a kid that has want. Oh, he gets it across the progressive pylon cam. Lowers his shoulder, extends the ball. See if he hits it before his leg touches. Yeah, that's a touchdown. Good look at it right there, right at the goal line.
So you got 2 guys with hat tricks. Saquon scored 3. McSorley has scored 3. And a beatdown of a defense that brings a lot of pride into this game.
One word comes to mind when I watch Trace McSorley: winner. Watch him make this read again. They take Barkley. He's going to find a way, runs right over the top of Josh Metellus, and reaches at the end of that to get the ball into the end zone. That's definitely going to hold up.
A serious winner, Kirk. This is 75th start. If you combine high school and college, he's taken a total of 8 losses. He remembers every single one of them at the high school and college level. Those are the ones that sting, and those are the ones that drive him to improve.
How about taking his high school?
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
Takes his high school to 4 straight state championships. 4.
They won 3 of them.
Winning 3 of them.
But it was the one loss his senior year that he still keeps a video of that on his phone, right? It still drives him, the one that got away.
Great basketball player. Just
the teammates say that, you know, he's a guy they can count on. And he told us that game-winning drive at Iowa, which he was huge. It had been the Barkley show. McSorley on that final drive made some clutch throws. He said there was never a doubt. It's the kind of confidence that he inspires in this offense. 42-13. Meanwhile, over on ESPN, after the Buffalo's Wazoo Cougars game, stay tuned for Sports Center. Kirk will have his top 4 teams. Break down the weekend in college football. Highlights of the ALCS. Houston blanking the Yankees. Trying to set up a Houston-LA World Series. And Ben Simmons' first week in the NBA. Kickoff in the end zone. Hawkins, or excuse me, Ambry Thomas trying to run it out. And stop at the 15. The Pacific Life game summary. Look at the quarterback comparison, which is as lopsided as the score is.
Yeah, McSorley a big night tonight. Not only throwing the football, you see the 76 yards, total touchdowns of 4. John O'Corn, 13 of 21, 148. I don't know, Chris. He hasn't had a ton of help tonight. I thought he's played with more poise tonight and has looked better than he has in the last couple weeks.
Sacked 6 times, though. He just has not gotten the protection at all.
Helped him.
There's a keeper for O'Corn who slides down at the 20. Penn State rotating in a few backups in on defense now. They do have a very deep group. The backups aren't necessarily untalented guys at all.
No, I think Brent Pry made an interesting point this week, a good point about the injuries that they had last year. Created a ton of depth. Now that they've been healthy, they've got guys that deserve to play, and he gets them out there. Guys like Brandon Smith, who's out there right now.
Brandon Smith, number 47, guy who's the only married guy on Penn State team, a 4.0 student, just took his MCATs, I mean, future doctor. Ex-walk-on, great story.
Yeah, he played a lot of football last year with the injuries to Kabenda and Bell.
I think she got ejected from the game in Ann Arbor for targeting.
That's right.
O'Corn over the middle, incomplete. In and out of the hands of Zach Gentry, the big freshman tight end who hasn't been able to make an impact play yet tonight. Tight ends have been really controlled, haven't they, by this Penn State defense? But it's a huge part of the offense.
Well, I think they left their corners on islands. Kabenda.
There's a guy, Kabenda,
who will be a college football analyst one day if he decides to. I think we all of our whole crew, we sit down, we always look forward to talking to number 40.
I think he should maybe aim higher.
Well, he can go conquer the world. I mean, he's exceptional. He's an elite personality, but when he gets done, he gets bored. He can come on back and break the game of football down if he wants.
Isaac. And Maria, you're also equally impressed with Jason Kabenda in our meetings with him.
Absolutely. Jason Kabenda, first of all, guys, he speaks 2 languages fluently, speaks French and English. He's from Cameroon, so both of his older sisters were born there. Every single year he goes to a convention to celebrate his heritage, taking 4 econ classes, and will graduate in 3.5 years. Most interesting player in college football, I think.
There's a lot of interesting guys battle for that title in this Penn State team. Perry, the catch dropped immediately. That's Lamont Wade, one of the backups, a true freshman corner.
That was a quick reaction time to keep him short of the first down. All that great information from Maria. And we love Jason Cabinda. That sounds like, even though Tommy Tupac Rinaldi's on the Michigan side, that sounds like a feature coming up on College Game Day on Jason Cabinda.
No, it's the backups trying to make a stop as Michigan will go on 4th and a long yard. Higdon battles and does move the sticks out across the 40.
Penn State took a chance, tried to get upfield, tried to get penetration, get vertical, and gave Higdon a chance. Once they missed him, there's nobody left there on the edge of that defense, and he's able to easily get to the first down marker. I thought Higdon coming into tonight, after the big performance last week in Bloomington, he was a key in being able to try to get loose and try to get to the second and third level of the defense. He's been held in check for the most part tonight, with the exception of that one touchdown.
Yeah, just 3 yards of carry, Kirk, after a 200-yard game against Indiana. Here's a cool story. Andover, Pennsylvania, not too far away. Dalton Stickler, age 11, lines up all the FBS mini helmets based on the matchups. And he's got the team that's going to win in the right column. So here it is up here. There's the Penn State-Michigan game, and he correctly picking Penn State. So his dad tweets that picture out to me every week. I promise this is the week to get it in there, but
got Notre Dame, too.
He's looking good. He's going to give the Bear a run for his money.
I know. I'm going through the picks here.
But every FBS mini helmet, that's. I hope he does his homework.
Yeah.
He's got to take some time every week.
Pretty cool. Great dedication.
Hill makes the short catch here. The Penn State offense wants to get back on the field and try to add to this total. The starters have yielded to the backups on defense now.
Well, Tommy Stevens may come in, the backup quarterback of Penn State gets the ball, and I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing for Michigan's defense. Boy, is he talented.
He's been involved this year as a receiver, a runner, and as you said, a terrific passer. Figures to be the heir apparent. O'Korn delivers, and McDoom is wide open. Takes a blow and is twisted and knocked down at the 41, another first down. Well, all the folks here, part of this whiteout, also a part of history. New attendance record for Beaver Stadium, 110,823. So a night to remember for the folks dressed in white.
New hashtag for James Franklin for next week, or the next home game.
It's not for a while. McCorn steps up, has a man open, and it's Perry. Closing to break it up was Lamont Wade. Next two tests away from Happy Valley in Columbus against a rested Buckeye team coming up from by, and then East Lansing, which figures to be a slugfest against the Spartans, who from behind to beat Indiana today.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that this is that first hurdle of these 3 weeks. Next week, as you said, is a showdown after all that happened last year. Imagine the build-up for that game in Columbus between those two teams.
McCorn, keeper in heavy traffic, wrestled down after a 1-yard gain by Shaka Tony. Chick-fil-A bringing you this week's college football rankings. It's the AP poll for just one more week after this, because after next week's game, the playoff committee will gather and put out their rankings, which will supplant the polls, the important rankings. But Alabama clobbering Tennessee, going to stay right there at number 1 unanimously.
The 3 teams there at the bottom, Miami, Oklahoma, and Oklahoma State, all tested but answered the call.
O'Korn hammered as he throws deep downfield, and it's incomplete over the head of Peoples-Jones.
For Penn State, do you think there's more build-up for this game and avenging last year's loss in Ann Arbor? Or do you think for the trip over to Columbus after beating Ohio State right here, you and I watched the blocked field goal, and the field goal return for a touchdown, Penn State wins, goes on to win the Big Ten championship, left out of the playoff. Which one do you think means more to their fans and these players? I'm going to guess next week.
Well, next week it means more. If Franklin will just quickly turn the page, and his mantra, 1-0 every week. He'll want them to forget about all this. So celebrate it tonight, and then it's all Ohio State and the challenge of trying to win in the horseshoe. McCorn, does he notice the play clock? Did not get the snap off. I would think that motivation.
Layup game. Offense. Number 8. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Very high for the Scarlet and Gray as Urban Meyer's beloved special teams let him down. That field goal block made by Marcus Allen, scooped up by Grant Haley, and the play that won the game for Penn State.
That's what makes next week so great, is both sides have a side of the story. I mean, Penn State's frustrated that they got left out, and Ohio State, they're frustrated about hearing about the blocked field goal and what happened in that game. So it's a great chance to see those two teams go at it again.
Oh, no. McCorn dragged down and sacked for a 7th time. That's Shakatoni. He's a redshirt freshman that's got a big future here as a pass rusher.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You have guys like this at defensive end. They said he runs a 4.5 as a defensive end.
Well, he's got 4 sacks already on the season. The All-State all-hands-in bus with Curtis Wilson piloting here in Happy Valley. You got your All-State hands team of the week.
Yeah, we do it every Saturday. The all-hands-in team of the week. Iowa State. What a performance. Are you kidding me? Something to beat Texas Tech. Yeah, 31-13. Kyle Kemp's another great game. David Montgomery. And they're 5-2 for the first time. Best start since 2002. And guess what? TCU goes to Ames next week. Talk about a big matchup.
Tommy Stevens, the backup quarterback, is in the game, and he's going to keep it. And Stevens barreling forward. He's a big physical quarterback. Ball comes out very late, scooped up by Michigan. David Long, who had the pick earlier, has the fumble recovery and the return deep into Penn State territory as the backup coughs it up in his first play.
Now, was he down, or was the ball coming out as he was coming down? That's what they're going to want to take a look at. David Long again, as you said, Chris.
Tommy Stevens not complaining about the call. He's checking the big screen right here.
Yeah, he looks like his shoulder.
It's really close.
The previous play.
They'll review it. Does he lose control? Did they begin to rip it free before he goes down?
No, I think his back hit and ball came out. Looks like he's down to me.
It's very close to simultaneous. Bring in Dave Katai just because you need a rep tonight, Dave. It's been a quiet night for you. There goes the knee even before the back hits the ground. So how do you see this one?
Based on these replays, he looks down because he has control of the ball until his back hits the ground. Then it starts to move. Also, take a look at his knee.
Yeah, knee
right
goes
there.
down.
See the knee right there? All right, see, so you can't see the ball. Watch him turn around. When he turns around, now the ball's coming out, but he's already down. I think this is not going to be a fumble.
Yeah, the knee down right there.
Right there?
Yeah.
You can't see the ball, but it's in there. There you go. Now you can see it. He still has control of it.
That was a great look.
Stevens, meanwhile, the guy who's 6'5", about 230, comes from Indianapolis.
There's the knee. Still has the ball.
Redshirt sophomore who's a very talented guy. He's so talented they got to find a way to get him into the offense. That's why he's been a receiver and a ball carrier. Jerry McGinn having a look.
The thing about Tommy Stevens is he knows he's going to have to sit around and wait till Trace McSorley leaves. He'll have 1 year essentially to be the quarterback. You don't see that much from guys anymore.
The runner was down at the 36-yard line. 1st and 10. Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 3:15. 3:15. Thank you.
So Penn State gets the ball back. They'll be at the 36-yard line of Michigan. You're right. Stevens has a great relationship with McSorley. He's a great team player, but you always wonder, is he going to look elsewhere? He's got NFL-type arm talent, and he'll only have potentially, if McSorley stays healthy, just 1 year to show it.
Yeah, but they're doing a good job of still keeping him involved as he sits around and waits for his chance.
He's a popular. You can hear some fans chanting Tommy. I love the fact that he's getting a chance to make a play late in the game. Sanders, by the way, figures to be the featured tailback next year, assuming Barkley comes out. And the speedster from Pittsburgh with a stiff arm.
If Barkley comes out, Andre Robinson is back next year. Miles Sanders, even Mark Allen, if he decides to come back. They have a great backfield. They're recruiting a couple good backs that have already committed to him. So if Barkley comes out, this offense is not going to slow down.
Only one senior starter up front. That's the right guard, Brendan Mann. Sanders dancing in the backfield. Escapes for a short gain. There's no way to replace Saquon Barkley, so Franklin says you do it with improved receiver play, an offensive line that's even better, and a variety of guys. But this is a program, because of the way they're recruiting nationally, really extending beyond the traditional borders here, that believes it can contend and win titles year in, year out, as tough as it is in the Big Ten East. 3rd and 3 play. And the Wolverines will jump offside and hand Penn State a first down.
Offside. Defense, number 93. The 5-yard penalty will result in a first down.
Cassidy Hubbard standing by for the Ford wrap-up show after the game. Looks like the Irish have finished their business over USC. An emphatic first or second round knockout of the troubled Trojans in South Bend tonight. You see that coming?
Not by that much. I thought Notre Dame would win the game playing in South Bend. They are a team now that needs to start to be talked about.
No doubt.
With their only 1-point loss to Georgia.
Sanders, he's going to make the most of his opportunities late in this game. Fights for 9 yards. Well, he's out of a minute and a half
He's
now.
a great looking back. 5'11", 215 pounds. Western PA, out of the Pittsburgh area. Good strong legs. These backs, when they do get a rare chance to run the ball or dispel Saquon Barkley, they come in with a purpose, and Miles Sanders has definitely done that.
These Penn State backups hungry to score a 7th touchdown tonight, and would equal the total that Michigan got on them a year ago. And now it's Mark Allen plowing for a 1st and goal. If they get in the end zone, the point total will be the same, and the yardage total will be almost identical to the 5:15 that Michigan gained a year ago on them.
Do they try to get a couple more snaps here, or do they take a knee? It's almost more insulting to take a knee. If you're Michigan, you'd rather have them keep trying to run a play. I know he's not going to throw it, right?
I wouldn't be positive of that. I wouldn't be positive. Final 30 seconds. Sanders plows down to the 6. They don't have to run another play. You'd have to believe that's going to be it.
Too.
No, you don't do that. Penn State on a whiteout night in front of a record crowd pays back Michigan, but does a lot more. They make a very strong statement. They're going to snap this one more time. They do. Sanders will be tackled for a loss. Play that didn't need to run. That'll be interesting as Harbaugh has to shake the hands of James Franklin. 42-13.